Well, it's finally looking like wintertime here in the South. As I look outside, I think about the change of seasons, and I think about how life is about seasons changing, about things changing, about just change is an integral part of life. And the more we go with that flow, the more we understand that that is just the way things are, and the less attachment we give on to how things are currently, or how we wish things were, the easier it is for us. It also can perhaps help you, if you're in a situation that you're not enjoying, to understand that change is a part of it. And it's really interesting. We're such interesting creatures in that we get used to a certain thing. So even if things change for what we consider the better, we can still go through a grieving and a mourning space and a space of fear, because we move into the unknown, even if the unknown is preferred. So the more you can let go of rules and preferences, and this is the way this should be, and if this is like that, then it means this, and if this isn't like that, then it means this. The more you do that, the more you just live in the very present moment. Because what can happen the way I used to be, and well, still am, who am I talking to? I'm still like that. I'm just learning. I'm being conscious and aware of it. And that's the first part, is to understand that there's so many times when I'm not living in the moment because I'm comparing it to something. I'm comparing it to a model that never was. I'm comparing it to an old model that I'm looking through very filtered glasses with. I'm looking through a monitor of what I perceive someone else's experience to be. And I'm thinking, this is the way it should be for me. And if it's not this way for me, then it means this lack about myself. We could also look at it the other way, that if something means something, then it is the greatness in yourself. And that can be good up to a point. However, it's about when things naturally flow and things naturally change, and perhaps something that you aspired to starts going away, then you can think you've lost it. And I've thought that so many times when things started going my way, I started thinking, okay, now I finally got it. And then when it started to change and morph, I thought, oh, I've lost it. I've lost whatever that certain skill or whatever it might be, or allowance to have what I prefer here. Now I've lost that and I need to get that back. When there never really is anything lost in the first place. It simply is a flow. And if you don't fully immerse yourself in a moment, you don't have the full, you don't get the full gist of it, especially sometimes I know for me, I'll be in a moment that is a preferred moment, and I'm so scared about it going away that I'm not fully present, not fully there, and not fully enjoying it. The same thing will happen for a space that perhaps I don't prefer. I don't tend to stay completely present in that moment. I'm thinking of all the reasons why there's lack in me for why this might be happening, or lack in somebody else, or whatever that might be, instead of looking at the opportunities that are there present. I think so many times we're in spaces and states that perhaps we don't prefer, and there might be connections with people, or connections with our environment, or opportunities, or new ways of growing that we don't even understand. We don't have the eyes to see because we're so in the muck and in the mire of this situation that I'm in is because of somebody else's fault, or it's because of my fault, or the government's fault, or something like that, rather than just looking at it for what it is, fully experiencing it, fully enjoying it, and finding out how you can best move through that moment. Because everything is all wrapped up in our perception. Everything is all wrapped up with the level of engagement we have. Everything is wrapped up with how we perceive it, how we identify ourselves with it, what kind of rules and stigmas we might attach to it. That's all how our experience and how we live life is actually there for us. And that is a choice. It's also a skill. It's very much a skill set to understand that you have to give yourself, you have to exercise that muscle of being fully present, of being fully there. And a lot of that is also wrapped into faith that everything is going to be okay. Because a lot of times it's like, I know for me, I would be in a bad situation, and part of the way that I would get through it is by having that fear attached to it. And so it would make it would perhaps take away the idea that I was so much to blame, or that, it was this weird thing of thinking that having that fear around it made it less of a sting. If things really, really went bad, then I could be like, oh, at least I was aware in the fear of it. But the problem is, it's almost like you kind of propagate it. You kind of make it into that, rather than seeing what the opportunities are there. So just another grandpa ramble. I'm hoping that you can find a way to be fully present. You can be here in your now, in your awareness. And it really is the true way to live intentionally, live fully, and in an odd way to live infinitely. Because when you're present in this now moment, it's like time and space and everything else just kind of goes away. And it's no longer about the clock anymore. It's no longer about the human inventions and the human sets of rules. It's now about the divine. It's now about being in a place where you're connected to everything, and everything becomes possible, and everything is full potentiality. And that's right where you are. And it's really kind of who you are. So hopefully that's helpful. I know it's helpful for me to talk about, and I'm hoping that these are helpful for someone else. If you've enjoyed this or got anything out of it, I hope you'll like, subscribe, and comment and share. And please tell me perhaps what your issues are, what maybe your obstacles are of living fully intentionally. Let's hold you in a space and perhaps help you to see with new eyes the potential and the what you might be able to learn to grow, and what might be there for you, or just hold space for you, and just understand, in this human journey, that we all go through struggles, and it is your struggle, and it's completely understandable because we all go through them. And it can be so helpful when people just hold you in that space and see you for who you truly are, just silently witnessing with you, being there with you, not judging you, just holding your hand, saying, I understand, and you are greater than this. Until later, love, peace, and release.